So, off-season is over and I feel mixed feelings. I didn't vlog any of it. I kind of wanted to, but off-season is kind of a bit mundane. Same stuff, different day, not too much to report on, and you don't really see much change because you're trying to grow muscle, but you don't really see muscle growth overnight, so there's not really much to report on. But I put a poll out on my Instagram story because I really wanted to vlog my prep this year. And I wanted to know if people wanted to see like the transition to prep. I wanted to do the transition to prep because I don't just want to vlog the prep. I want to vlog what it's like transitioning to a prep. Does that make sense? Because I think that is a process. The whole thing of getting to stage is a process, and it's not just off-season prep. Like, there is kind of a reason behind the off-season into the prep and everything like that. That's my food. Bear with me. So believe it or not, I'm already eating out of a Tupperware. I'm not really, it's just leftover dinner, but it's literally just spaghetti bolognese with some cheese from leftover that was in the freezer. Nothing fancy about that. I'm not on a meal plan or anything. I'm currently calorie tracking. So I guess I better get into what this transition phase into prep is actually going to look like, how my off season went. Firstly though, I'm recording this on an iPhone 13 Pro Max front facing camera. The quality, go on Apple. But anyway, so off season from start to finish, after I did the powerlifting competitions, I went straight into a gaining phase, straight into a calorie surplus, into a hypertrophy block, higher volume obviously than the powerlifting. And from start to finish, I gained just over 5 kilos. I think my waist measurement went up by about 1 inch. My glute measurement went up by about 2 inches. Not mad about that. And yeah, it was really positive. I lifted really heavy in the gym. I'm still lifting really heavy. I'm enjoying it. And I kept in all of the main compounds that I was doing through powerlifting as well. Definitely had a real positive effect on my physique, which I was happy about. I'm starting like a 4 or 5 week transition into prep. So now what that means is, height of my off season, I was gaining weight in a calorie surplus, lifting really heavy compounds. I'm now transitioning for 4 to 5 weeks. What that means is I'm going to find my new maintenance. So I've knocked my calories down by about 200, as I think that my maintenance is going to be around, slightly under that probably, but we're going to get there slowly. There's no rush. We have 4 or 5 weeks to transition. So down to around about maintenance. I'll probably lose a bit of water weight, water retention, scale weight will come down a little bit. So that's what's happening with food. I'm still calorie tracking. I'm not yet doing any sort of meal plan, just calorie tracking. I only track my calories and my protein, carbs and fats, not bothered about. Is what it is. Isn't going to affect too much of the outcome. So that's what I'm doing with food. Steps, I've now added in some more steps. So throughout my off season where I was trying to gain weight, for me personally, it's always been quite difficult to gain weight. So I would end up having to eat a hell of a lot of food. So this off season, I made sure that I dropped down my expenditure. I didn't go for any walks whatsoever, which killed me. So yeah, no walks whatsoever. So now I've added in some more steps, going for 1 walk every day, which is about 20 minutes, a couple of thousand steps. So a slight increase of steps. I think I'm probably up to about 5,000-6,000 a day now, which still isn't really a lot. Still no cardio. Training wise, my training split is stayed the same. I do upper lower rest, delts, rest, repeat. So 5 sessions over 8 days. The only changes to my training is I've taken out some of the main compounds. So I've taken out squats, barbell back squats, and I've taken out deadlifts. So the reason why I've taken those out is because they are incredibly taxing on the central nervous system, on the lower back. They're very taxing exercises. In order to do them, I mean, it would be very difficult to keep them in whilst dieting and whilst being quite low body fat. You're going to be at risk of injury. Your risk to reward ratio isn't going to be in your favour. So I've taken those out, and I've taken those out before I prep and before I'm lean, because obviously adding in new exercises to replace them, you're going to spend a few weeks having to build your weights up on those exercises to get to a challenging weight that's going to have the hypertrophy response that you want. So you don't just want to swap them out as prep starts because you want to already be at a high level with those exercises. So I added them in about a week or so ago, and I'm doing hack squat now, and then on the deadlift day, leg press has become the main exercise, and then I've added in split squats, which are challenging. I will also add in a little physique update on here for the end of my off season, and the difference between physiques from start of off season to the end of the off season. And yeah, so that's kind of how my transition is going to work. I'm going to eat my spaghetti bolognese, we're going to go to the gym. It is an upper body day today. I also have a posing session this afternoon with one of my clients who's competing this year, because I have a team of girls competing this year, which is awesome. And so I might film a little bit of that, and we'll see how it goes.
And fly, go!
So upper session complete, got a bit of a pump on. Love training upper, love getting a shoulder pump specifically. Now I've got a posing session with my client Elle. She's coming here, we're going to do an hour posing, which I'll probably record some of it or put the camera in the corner of the room. She is 15 weeks out now, coming up to 15 weeks out from her first ever show of two bros, so that's really exciting. So you'll be able to see what she looks like. But yeah, enjoy. I also thought in this vlog that I would chat through some of my tips and tricks for off season, or some of the things that I really used and applied this off season that really helped me. I've always been someone that struggled with weight gain. Like, I've always felt like I have quite a fast metabolism. I've always been very sporty, so I've found it really hard to gain weight because I have to eat so much food. So one of the things that I really focused on in order to be able to actually gain some weight, it was necessary for me to see the scales go up and to gain some body fat, just because of where my starting point was. But one of the things that really helped me was focusing on my expenditure as well as food. So I reduced my steps. I did no cardio. I think the only steps I did was like around the gym, around the supermarket. I barely went out for a walk. That was quite tough in some cases because I really like putting my headphones in and going out for a walk. But it was necessary. That was one thing that I definitely noticed a huge difference cutting out steps and then not having to eat as much as if I was doing steps. Like, that really helped digestion. It really helped kind of perspective around food, that I wasn't having to force feed myself all the time. It meant that I could still focus on getting nutrient dense foods in rather than just thinking I've got to hit calories, so get calorie dense foods in and then feel awful. That leads me to my second tip. Don't neglect your fruit and veggies. Don't neglect your nutrient dense foods. Obviously, when you are in off season and you have a lot more food to get in, you're going to have some calorie dense options. Some of the things I really liked adding in that were calorie dense was full fat milk. That was a good one. Golden syrup on top of my breakfast in the morning. Granola was always a fab one. Mashed potato was good too. Adding in mashed potato, because obviously you use milk and butter to mash it. Little things like that really helped and made a difference. But not to neglect fruit and veggies, because sometimes you can eat too many calories or too many calorie dense options and the amount of food doesn't actually give you the energy. Like, you need the fruit and veggies. So that's one thing I would massively recommend. Third thing would be look at your week as an average. I think it's very easy to try and hit the same amount of calories every single day, or the same amount of steps or something like that every single day, but I looked at it as an average. So this is how I coach all of my clients as well. We look at our calories as an average. Our bodies don't just stop burning calories when we hit a certain amount. So for example, on average I burn 2,000 calories. As soon as my body burns 2,000 calories, it just stops for the rest of the day. That's not obviously what happens. So we don't have to look at our calorie intake as something that just stops at a certain point. So I like to look at it as an average. That gives you some flexibility. It gives you some, I guess it helps with perspective as well, again, on food and towards calories, because some days you can eat lower, some days you can eat higher. If you go out for a meal at the weekend, allow yourself to go above calories, and another day or bank some calories throughout the week, you can be below. So that really helps for perspective. I think having some flexibility on your off season is crucial. Some people like to be on meal plans in their off season. Not for me. Calorie tracking, macro tracking in my off season, and looking at it as a weekly average, so I don't have to eat the same amount of calories every day. That really helped. I can't do the meal plan thing in off season. It's not for me. I don't think it's for many people. So looking at food that way really helped. What was another tip that I was thinking of? If you have to go up a clothes size in your gym clothes, don't freak out. I had to do that. Don't freak out, just allow it to happen. Don't get too attached to the fact that you're going to gain some weight. Now, obviously this depends. It depends on where your starting point is. I had to gain a lot of muscle. I've always been fairly lean. So for me personally, it was necessary to gain some body fat and to gain some weight and to see the scales go up. I gained just over 5 kilos. It was completely necessary. That obviously meant that I saw numbers on the scales I'd never seen before. I saw measurements I've never seen before. I started wearing clothes that I never thought I would be that size of clothes. Let it go. Don't be too attached to those things. It is what it is. The overall outcome and the end goal is what you're focusing on, not those things that are going to happen for a period of time. And it did get to the point, like, I recently ordered some clothes and I thought, do I go up a size? And I was like, but I'm going on prep soon, it will come back off again, so I could just leave it. Things change like that, so don't get too attached, don't hold on to it too much, and try to always focus on the end goal and what you're doing it for, as opposed to getting caught up in those smaller things. But yeah, I'm going to leave this vlog here. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will hopefully be doing a video a week moving forward until show day. I'm going to try and hold myself to that. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.